Hey there, Codefinity here, and in this video, I'm going to talk just briefly about conventional commits. So as we already know, it's important to commit early and commit often on our projects and to write meaningful commits, especially when working on a team, but just as important when working solo, especially when you're coming back into projects after months and so on and so forth. So here, I'll include this link in the show description, but the conventional commit style just primarily follows this format here. It's kind of hard to read. It's best just to look at the examples, but you have these predetermined categories like fix and feat. Those are probably going to be your most common ones. And then you have some additional notes in here. There's fix, feat, and a whole bunch of other ones here. So it's cool to look at the examples. But yeah, here's one right here. Feat, allow, provided, whatever. I mean, you can see that the rest of the message is written in the imperative tense, starting with a lowercase letter, and there's no punctuation at the end. So there's plenty of examples here, but one of the easiest ways to do this, if you're in VS Code, is simply, let me just make a random change on this thing so let's say I'm going to use Y instead of X or something. So I'll save that. Here in VS Code, I've got this commit source control icon here. You can make sure you're showing that off in your sidebar here by making sure this is checked. So when I click here, I've actually got an extension, and I'll put the link for this extension also in the show description. And it's just this circle here, and it says conventional commits. So I'll click here, and we'll pretend that, it kind of breaks down the categories right over there. We'll pretend this is a new feature. I'm not going to worry about the scope for the purpose of this video. There's also emojis or Gitmojis you can use. Those all mean certain things. So for a feature, a lot of times we would do sparkles, introduce new features. So I could put that in here. And here's where I write my short imperative tense description. So I'll say, starting with a lowercase letter, replace Y with X. Now, obviously, it'd be more meaningful if it was a meaningful change. So then you have an opportunity to write a longer description here. So adds Y to the, it doesn't, this wouldn't make sense for this silly change, but you can add some additional notes here. And then you can specify any breaking changes, or you can mention an issue number in here. So if you're working on a ticketing system and your team has issue tickets and stuff like that, perfect place to put it here. So you really don't, just to get started though, and get the hang of this stuff, you can really just start here, click like feature, skip the scope, pick a Gitmoji or not, and just, write your message in here. The rest of everything else is kind of optional. So this is a great tool to use in order to get started with conventional commits. And I'll drop the link in the description here, but the name of the extension is literally called conventional commits.